We're moving.
Okay. All right. So as we know, we're actually in the Black History Month, or in the month where we celebrate, so where we're coming from. So as a Jamaican, and I think most persons that are online tonight may be Jamaicans right now. I want you to tell me something that you really love about your country or your culture. Are you hearing me though? Because
we're hearing you. You're frozen, but we're hearing you.
Oh. All right, so let me hear something that you love about your culture or your country. Who wants to tell me first?
How expressive we are as a people. We find such unique ways of expressing ourselves that is you don't find that around the world. We Jamaicans are very expressive, and we find unique ways of expressing ourselves. So I like how we express ourselves as a people.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Anyone else want to share? Tell me, man, what is it that we love about our culture? What we love about our country? Nobody else don't love anything about your country? Some persons.
I love the vibes.
You love
Good
the
night,
vibes?
everyone. I like the vibes. I like the food. I like the people.
Talk truth. You love the food, don't? Yes, thank you very much.
Food nice.
You loved it?
No, I say, yeah, man, the food nice.
Right. Indeed. Somebody said I love the clean drinking water. Okay. So I've not been outside of the country for very long. So I don't know about all the things out there. But for those who have visited other country, somebody said I love the cool, the clean water. Awesome. Love the food. Somebody said I love how the people them just full of vibes and expressive. What else do you love about your culture? Go ahead, Shanika. Say open your mic.
Right. I love the food, and for my country, I love the fact that we don't experience the season. So right here through, we can just have sunshine and just bask in the beauty of our country.
Talk true. True that, Shani. True that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
True that. Because even when other countries, even when we get cold front, when I get the snow and we don't get certain things. That's true. Awesome.
Right.
Somebody in the chat said they love the music and the drama. Awesome. Yes, Andrea, go ahead.
I like the freedom that we have. When we look at other countries and stuff like that, we really experience a lot of freedom. Freedom in terms of speech, freedom in terms of our movements, and in the things that we do. So I really like that about our country, that we are free.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrea. And as you talk about freedom, it's even in the religion, because some country they don't actually get to go out and to worship God and to do things like that. Yes, so we really have that freedom. Thank you very much. I'll take one more person. Tell me something you love about your country. You love about your culture. We get the food, we get the freedom, the fact that we are very expressive. What else? One more person. Tell me something you love about your country, your culture, or our culture here in Jamaica. Let me see if there's anything else in the chat that I didn't mention.
I like to share good night.
Good night. Go right ahead.
All right. I love our culture in terms of our friendliness. Right? Yeah. When you go to anywhere else or you hear about person, overseas, how they relate to their neighbors is not like how we relate to our neighbors. We can borrow some sugar, some butter, but over there, anywhere else, it's not the same. So I love our culture in, just looking for one another and being friendly.
Yes, somebody say in the chat, amen, our hospitality indeed is amazing. That's true. I hear about it. As I said to you, I've never experienced it, but I hear about it. So it is it's a big thing to be a Jamaican. And somebody, I don't know if you've ever gone somewhere and somebody just looking at you because of how we talk. Yeah, how we talk. There's something about how we talk. Everybody wants to hear us. And when
yes, Cola, that is so true.
And we can cuss people in our language and they don't understand it. You understand? Yes. So our culture, we have diverse culture, and we are glad. I am glad that I'm a Jamaican. Aren't you glad?
Very glad.
Awesome. So as we get started this evening, I know my presenter is online and he is here with us, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Bailey? I was seeing him earlier. Maybe he fell off. Mr. Bailey, are you there? Let me check. All right, so he is on and we're going to get started. You know, each time I come, I started per. And as I say, a big welcome to everyone online. For those who are joining for the very first time, I am glad that you are here. And I know at the end, you will get something from the session, something that will be shared. And trust me, if you cannot benefit directly from it, I pray that you will share what you learned this afternoon with somebody else so they can benefit. So we're going to get started with her before I introduce our presenter for tonight and get into the program. And we're going to be talking about building financial resilience with Barita investments. So a lot of us might be looking for somewhere to invest or, you know, investment information. And I pray that you will get it here tonight. All right, so we're going to get started at this time with her. Let us pray at this time. Father, indeed, we thank you for being Lord over our lives. And Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We want to thank you for each and every person here that is on this platform tonight. Father in heaven, I pray, God, that you will be with us throughout this program. Everything that will be done tonight will bring you glory. Father, I pray that you will just remember those. Father, there are two of my colleagues who are joining here this evening from the hospital. You understand what they're going through and you know why they're there. I pray that you will extend your hand of healing and God Almighty, you will minister to the situation that they're faced with this evening. Father in heaven, I pray that you will just be with us. Bless the presenter. And I pray that each and every person here tonight will get something and your name will be glorified. In Jesus' name, amen. So as we come on each evening, you understand what we do is that we explore different topics. And tonight is no different. We're going to be talking about investment. All right, so we have with us Mr. Bailey. I would love for you to come on camera at this time. Mr. Bailey? All right, so just give me 1 minute. While he's coming on camera, I want to just read, thank you very much, Mr. Bailey. I want to read something about Mr. Bailey. Anybody here from St. Mary? Anybody online from St. Mary? Nobody. All right, so Mr. Bailey is actually from the cool parish of St. Mary. That's where he grew up in Cassiton Gardens. And a lot of us here have been to Cassiton, right? Anybody here know Cassiton?
Yes.
Nobody here?
I know. Yes, I do.
All right, so I've been to Cassiton before.
Andrea, how's Andrea?
All right. It seems that Mr. Bailey knows Andrea because he's the first person that he recognized tonight. He is the youngest of 9 siblings. He is the husband of 1 wife and the proud father of an adult child and adult woman, and a teenager. He attended the St. Mary's High School and the Northern Caribbean University, also Mona School of Business. He has a passion for music. Can I tell you, he plays the saxophone, he plays the piano and the guitar, and he does all of that for the glory of God. He is a wealth advisor by profession, and he worked at Sagicor Investments and Barita Investments, developing over 20 years of experience in the field. All right, Mr. Bailey, we want to welcome you to Transformation Thursday with Coach Cola. And is there anything that I need to tell them that I don't tell them yet? You're muted, they're not hearing you.
That is fine, that's enough.
That's enough. All right, so I want this evening program to be a little bit different. Normally we sit through all the presentation and we listen, but Mr. Bailey would like for you to actually just, any question you have to just throw it at him and he will answer it. So for this evening, you just raise your hand, we'll acknowledge you, we'll take your questions because it's all about you and we want it to be building financial resilience. And he's going to take it from the perspective of Barita Investments. But also, I am quite sure that you'll also learn about some things that me, myself, are going to ask him about, because all the while, I see people are saying out things about IPO and APO and all them things there. And tonight, he's going to tell us a little bit about that. Also, you hear people are telling us invest into stocks and bonds. What kind of thing is this? Mr. Bailey is going to tell us about it tonight. So, Mr. Bailey, I want you to go ahead. Tell me something I never say about you, something fun about Mr. Bailey before we get started, because this is a family gathering, you know, so we want to hear something fun about you.
Okay, well, my favorite fruit is jackfruit. You know, a lot of persons don't want to get their hand into it, but that's my joy.
Jackfruit.
Right,
awesome. Right. Awesome. All right, so Mr. Bailey, start by telling us what is financial investment resilience.
Well, financial resilience is really our ability to withstand the life events that will affect our earnings, our income. And these things may vary for each of us. Maybe it's our educational pursuits. Maybe we're making a change of job or start a new family, you know, mate up. Or maybe we're aging, we're getting closer to that 65. So a lot of things, COVID was one of the things that would have affected our financial resilience. So our ability to withstand those challenges is what makes us financially fit.
All right. Mr. Bailey, I want you to write them because I think you might answer it sometime to come. I have a few persons who are online that are not from Jamaica, and one of the questions that was asked, and I want you to make a note of it, how can they invest from outside the country? So I want you to make a note of that, and then we could answer it as we get along into the presentation.
Okay.
All right, so continue, tell us about the resilience.
Well, in terms of our ability to withstand the challenges, there are some other things that affect us, because if we don't know what's coming at us, we won't be prepared, be adequately fortified to deal, to have financial space. One of these things is what we call inflation. Yes, that big word inflation. It affects, it affects the value of our money, right? So for example, a box food. How much for a box food? A box food is probably about, somebody tell me what's the cost of a box food, because my wife smartly sent lunch for me, right?
Stop show off, sir.
How much for box food now? Maybe my friend Bianca can tell us.
$5.50 for the small one, $6
What?
for the middle one, $7.50 for the big one.
Okay, I feel like I could come and buy 3 of that and put up because where I am in Mandeville, if I don't have a grand, you can't get a good food, right? You have to walk far enough. So inflation, that thing is really, for example, a bread, maybe for $500 last year, January. That $500 under your mattress, and you take it out this year, you can't get the same bread.
That's true.
Unless 3/4 bread sell. Right? So That is inflation. The same, you might have the same amount of cash, but it can do less things. And what causes it to be doing less things is because of inflation, the rising cost of living, everything gone up. And the challenge is that our salaries or incomes not going up as fast as the prices. So talking to you guys, you might be at different stage. Some persons are at the ripe banana stage and some are at the green banana stage. What do I call the green banana stage? You just start your work. You just start working. Maybe you're in your 20s. Next stage, you start doing some extra studies. But when you're ripe, it means that you're actually getting up in age. And, you might not be able to go back to school and study. Your ability is might not as be as it was before. And, when I think about it, I wish there were some things that they taught us in school, which we learned them earlier. Like, for example, money management. We never had that subject. Subject like how to negotiate. We didn't have that. Personal finance, how to budget, how to invest, how the insurance thing works. The insurance thing that I hear people talking about. How do we do our taxes? We didn't get that in school. What we learned is long division, country capitals and prime numbers and Pythagoras theory and all these bright things and the practical skills that we need to go through our daily life. We didn't learn that. It's when we start working and start getting money, we're learning on the go. And sometimes it really costs us as a result. And when it costs us, we're going to make some mistakes because first thing when somebody just start work, you're going to be in a bit of spending more than you make. And these are some money management mistakes that I really want to caution us about. It's 6 of them. And if you get the chance, you can jot them down. Spending more than what you make, right? Not setting financial goals, right? You just have the money and you're spending it. Not knowing that, next year this time, remembering that next year this time the child is going to be eligible for college and you don't have something in place, right? And sometimes we think about it, but because we don't see a way out, we're not honest about our finances and we still keep spending like we're not realizing that we are putting ourselves further and further in debt. Fourthly,
Mr. Bailey, sorry, with
yes.
the whole rise in the prices, some of the time it's not that you're spending more than you're making, in the sense that the bills them just come very high.
Yes, that is so.
Right.
That is so.
And then when you go to the supermarket and you normally budget for $5,000, you find that you have to, you're buying the same stuff and it's more money. How do we deal with that though?
Okay, so can you repeat that question for me, please?
No, I was saying that some of the time it's not the spending, that we're spending more than we earn. Because the thing is that we can't control it in the sense that the light bill coming extra high, the water rate, so it's the things that we actually use.
Consumption, right?
Yes.
So, and that's why we have to, and what we can do, we ensure that we have something in place to track our money. We have an idea of our general expenses each month. But I can tell you sometimes, well, it has happened to me where I've had some money in by Wednesday, I realize it's far less. And I'm saying, did I lose some money? I go back and search my pants pocket just in case. There's no hole in the pants pocket. I actually spent it and just didn't have a track of it. So basically what I do, I run things through electronic means, my banking card, so that I can go back and log in and say, oh, this is where the money actually went. Okay. So I don't have to be thinking that somebody robbed me or I lost money. Another mistake we make is not setting up an emergency fund. And I hope we are mainly young on the platform here, but we must not put off saving for retirement. The first paycheck that you get, you should be putting $1 towards your retirement. Don't wait until you're within 5 to 10 years, because at that stage, you're going to have to be putting a lot, to actually manage what's coming at you. So There are some things I want us to consider, and financially. We should take some time and jot down how much do we own and how much do we owe.
How much do we own?
Owe and own.
Okay.
Right? And what's your take-home pay? Right. So I want you to just jot down those things for me. Just give me 2 minutes. And while you jot down things, because I really want you to be practical. Give me 2 minutes and while we look at.
This thing takes so long.
So for those of us who just joined, we're taking 2 minutes to just write down how much you owe versus how much you own.
Okay, thank you very much. I know, yes, some of us have a lot of things, right? And we just started.
I was just about to say to you, 2 minutes can write down some of the things that we owe, sir.
Right, but the main things, well, I only hope the things that we owe can be done in 2 minutes or less. Because when you owe more than what you own, it means that your assets are less than your liabilities. And that means that we have to find some way out of the situation. Well, at least I think everybody knows your take-home pay, especially if you're employed and not. But we must know these things in order to manage our expenses well. Sorry, how many of us online here? Well, I see quite a few. Do we have an investment or retirement plan? Do we have an insurance plan? All right, you don't have to answer that, but I strongly encourage you to have an insurance plan and have an investment plan, right? And it's really the investment plan that I can assist you with based on my experience. All right, so we're going to make a financial plan now.
Tell us what is a financial plan before we start making it. What is it actually?
Well, it's just having adequate, well, for the things that will cost you over the short term, between now and 2 years, over the long term, 5 to 10 years, and the medium term, which is 3 to 5 years. So it's not necessarily a one plan. You should have a plan for short term, medium term, and long term.
Okay.
Right. So unfortunately, the cost of living is so much that sometimes we only want to make it through the month. Right, make it to month and our week, but you cannot be only thinking about week or the month. You have to think about the child that is growing and is going up in age and will need to have something in place for that child. Or if you take sick or if the shoes tear off your foot, yes, you better have a little emergency money put on for that. One day you won't be able to work anymore. What are you going to do now to plan for that time? Type something in the chat. What are you going to do when that day comes, when you're not able to work anymore? Right? Some of us have time on hand, you know, but we should make use of it. I'm 25 and want to buy a house in 3 years. But I've not started saving towards a deposit. Well, that's not me. I'm just reading the quote. Unless I look like 25. Right? So you have to ask yourself some questions, really, and make a step-by-step approach. And the things that I'm going to be saying are general things, because some of us at different stage, you know, some of us are the income stage, some of us don't have an income, So it's only our investments interest we're living off.
It was reported that.
Right. So the situation is different. But these are the words that we need to be accustomed to: budgeting, one, saving, investing. Yes, saving and investing are two different things, and spending.
Okay.
Right? Saving is money that you expect to access within now and the next 3 months. Right? It is very important. It facilitates the pay going to your bank account. Somebody can transfer money to you. But investing, you should, having taken out your expenses for the month, you should be able to take out some and put in an investment, right? And not touch. You know, as a rule of thumb is that you should have 3 months' salary put away for an emergency. Because the money that you have is a lot, but it's not really a lot.
Sir, what you say a while ago, sir? Sorry, what did you say?
We recommend that you have three months or more money put down for emergency.
This is what we're not going to touch.
You're not going to touch it. So you're not going to keep that in your savings account, because with the savings account, you have a card, and the card is going to be so convenient and tempting to swipe. So when you put in the investment, there's no card for that. The investment houses don't give you a card. So you have to go through the effort of getting the money from them. So that can be delay you from spending.
So, sir, that 3 months money is different from emergency money that you talked about earlier?
Well, I'd say it can be same for those persons who are just starting out, but eventually you should have them separated.
Okay.
And remember, money doesn't, even if you have $1 million now, it's not a lot. You make $1 million each month, but still living paycheck to paycheck, right? You'll be surprised. You probably think that if you were make $1 million per month, oh, that's all I need. You're going to realize that you involuntarily adjust your standard of living to that money, and then it doesn't look like big money anymore. So we have to budget. What is a budget? I'm not going to assume that everybody is budgeting, so I'm going to define it. It's an estimate of the amount of money that you'll receive and spend over a period of time. We got that?
Yeah.
We can go. So it's an estimate. And the budget must really work every month, but you should still continue. Right. And you're going to realize it might not work. And some of the reasons, there are a couple of reasons why it doesn't work, and I'll tell you maybe 3 or 4. One, you didn't track your spending before you made the budget. So when you make the budget, you say, traveling, but really and truly, last month you paid 8,000 for traveling, but you didn't write it down. You budget 5,000 for traveling this month. Then by the 3/4 of the month, you realize, say, you're spending more. So that's why you have to track. And some things that affect your budget, sometimes something just happen out of the blues. Something just happen.
Yeah.
And so you have to set up money for every month aside for unexpected expenses. Another reason why our budget doesn't work sometimes is that we don't have a goal in mind, right? And I think the main reason why the budget don't work is that there's more budget than money.
So we make some unrealistic budgets.
Yes, you make nice, wonderful budget typed up, printed and everything, but the money doesn't match up to it. Right?
But sir, it's not unrealistic if I want to go to the North Coast to enjoy myself, is it? You need to treat yourself.
We encourage treating yourself in a realistic way. And ice cream is just good for some persons, while some persons want to go on the safari to raft, So it varies, but we should make provision for treating ourselves. So the big question is now, when there's more budget than money, what do we do?
Tell us.
Anybody can type something and make some suggestion for your friends and colleagues. Okay. Pen too far, I will watch the play. Okay. So yes, I want you to type it in the chat. Create a side hustle. Good, I like that. Side hustle.
All right.
You don't need a side chick or anything. Any side, anything that you
A sugar daddy.
it must be a side hustle. It can't be nothing. Nothing else doesn't need to be needs to be on the side. All right. The first thing I'm going to suggest for us is manage your consumption. If you want a better word, burn your belly. Right? You don't have to what? You don't have to eat 3 bulla when you can eat 1. Right. That's the thing, that quickest thing that come to mind, you know, because I like sweets. But manage your consumption. And it's not just about food. Don't take it just for this food. Your light, your water. Put on solar, put in LED bulbs versus the other. Ensure that there's no water drip. Lock off the main before you leave home if you think you have a drip. You know, manage your consumption, water consumption, use the Wi-Fi and use less data, right? When you have the Wi-Fi, don't know at that time. Seek an extra hustle. And there are many things I could share with you, about 40 different things that you can do as a side hustle.
Mr. Bailey, there is some things in the chat. Take lunch to work instead of purchasing every day.
Thank you very much, Sister Andrea. Take lunch to work. And I want to tell you it's more fulfilling because you can't even complain and say it don't taste nice because you bring it, right? But when you buy it on the road and you spend so much money and it don't taste nice, then yeah, that's not encouraging. So I'm going to share some ideas.
1 minute, you know that even the water, some of the times we buy a lot of water when we go out to, I don't know about other persons, but when I used to buy a lot of water, so I don't walk with my water. So I realized that $150, 2 waters every day, $300. It's a lot of money when you add it all up. It's a lot
of money.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, unless the water is contrary to your stomach, then that's a different thing, you know, tap water. Yeah. But I'm just going to tell you some quick things that you can do. Social media management, freelance writing, online tutoring, online research, event planning, online coaching, marketing, personal shopping, food delivery, interior decorating, car detailing and washing, resume writing, music production, photography and videography, jewelry making and selling, painting, Airbnb hosting, voiceover work, you talk on background music for people, web, video editing, you know, quite a few stuff. So we have to try. And I'd say is buy and sell something that is in high demand. What is it that is in high demand? Don't answer because maybe somebody might copy you, but if you want to share it with me, if you have the idea, share it with me and I'll buy it if you don't have the money, right? Buy something and sell something. Everybody have something that they need. Find out what the people in your group need and source it and make a little markup. Make something from scratch. A pudding, a cake, yes. Crochet, whatever it is that works. You might not like this one, but work some extra hours. If the OT, overtime are run, take it at work because not every time at work they give overtime. And finally, last but not least, invest. All right, and please don't commit to any new bills. You have a fixed amount of bills each month. Don't bother trying and commit to take on a new one. When you go shop for the best prices. It is fine to ask for a discount, right? Yeah. You don't have to be nice up. It's no, put away the pride. You just need the right price. And when you're buying the rice, you don't have to buy two pound. Try and buy 6 pound. You probably get a bigger saving when you buy a bigger purchase. All right, so that's a couple of things that we can do when we don't have enough money to cover the budget, right? Yay, crochet. Yes, somebody connect with that one. Have your own food, right? So we're good with that. So investing.
So you talk about when the money is less than the budget. What if the money is actually more than the budget? What do we do in that case?
Well, I'm going to be biased with my response. Still invest because a rainy day is coming, right? So, yes. So buy less. You don't have to be bling. You know, straight jeans and a t-shirt is good. You don't have to go for the jacket if the work doesn't require you to wear a jacket. You know, Yeah, generic drugs. You go to the pharmacy. Doctors will tell you that generic drugs are just as effective as the. We just want to hear that we're buying the expensive one. We think that it will work better than the other one. So there are many things.
I don't know. This man never introduced himself.
All right. Yes. So.
Yeah.
Can you go again?
I'm hearing you. Hold on.
I'm trying to mute, but I'm unable to mute. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Bailey.
So you ever hear about the one less shoes, one less spike heel shoe, one less curtain? All right. Try to buy summer clothes now in the winter and buy winter clothes in the summer. You'll be surprised to know the big discount that you get on that.
Okay.
Right. Yes, some places. So I just want to close now by talking about investments, which is my area. Because those what we just discussed are general, and you probably know some of them, and not really disciplined in practicing them, but they do in fact work, right? So investing with Barita, well, I'm a senior investment advisor at Barita Investments, and you can start an investment with 10,000 Jamaican dollars, right? You can buy a stock. If I heard the name IPO or APO, anybody know? Can type in the chat what that really means. IPO. So for example, if there's a business person, okay, it's initial public offer. It means initial public offer. So for example, my sister, Andrea, she has a business, a good business idea, but it's only one thing affecting Andrea. She doesn't have the money to expand it. People want the service and everything. Two options you have right now, Andrea. It's either you're going to borrow money and pay a high interest rate at the bank, or you're going to share the company with me. If you decide to share the company with me, you're actually allowing other persons to own the company. So companies today, they issue what we call an IPO or initial public offer. And they say, well, you can buy one share for $3, $3 a one. You can buy any amount you want to buy. When you buy the shares in a company now, you become a part owner of the company. And if this company makes profit, they have a responsibility to share the profit with you. And the technical word for that is dividend.
But question though, is that any company at all, or the company have to be registered and stuff? What
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to register, and people not just going to take up the money and put into your company that they don't know about. So maybe it has to be around maybe 3-5 years, or maybe it has to show potential that it is doing well in the future. And so you can actually approach any investment house to help you to set up your company in a way to make it attractive for other persons wanting to invest in it. When it's attractive now, then that's that time you issue the IPO. If you don't want to share the company, or there's risk in everything, because if you share the company, somebody might want to take over the company from you. But you can issue no more than maybe 40% of the company, and you keep 60%. So there's no way they can make up and take it over from you. You're not into the sharing thing, go to the bank and borrow the money and pay them the high interest rate. Right. So that is how stock works.
So the question is, Mr. Bailey, is that the same as buying shares when you talk about IPO?
Yes. I should mention. So IPO is the buying of the issuing of the shares of your company. Is sharing the shares in your company. So some persons call it stock, some people call it shares, but it's actually the same thing. Right? You're a shareholder or an investor. It's a high risk investment though, because when you buy a share, for example, for $3, the price can drop to $2.50. Right? So then the price can move $4 after that. So you can make big money, but you can lose. And the key to investing in stock is that it's patience. That's what causes persons not to make money from stock investing. They go into it expecting to make the money overnight, and they see the price drop below what they put in, and they say, no, this doesn't make sense, and they come out of it, and thereby taking a loss. But I've seen where, compared to forms of investments, but they want to do a loan business or a taxi business or farm or something, or anything that you do, you're not going to get a return as high as investing in stocks. And I can prove that to you. So I share my contact. It's 876-517 2752. WhatsApp me and I can share with you what kind of earnings of investors are general from stock investing.
Can you repeat the number, please?
Okay, the number is 876-517-2752. I've typed it in the chat, right? I might have to go shortly, but I really want us to have the opportunity to connect and to have the one-on-one, because our needs are very unique and separate. And I'd want to talk to you. I mean, some of us view risk in a different way. Some persons can't take the risk. Some person 100,000, and if you tell them tomorrow that it dropped to 99,999, 99,999, they start for it, they can't sleep. Right? And you can't ramp with people money in a time like this when you're hearing things in the media that are not so comforting. So to identify how to help me better to recommend a form of investment to you, I'm going to share something called a roadmap or a questionnaire. It's a link that I just dropped in the chat. Click that. It's just a 3-minute questionnaire.
But question, Mr. Bailey, before you, how long would you need to wait to see a return on your investment?
Right. So investment values change daily. So you put your money in a fixed deposit for 30 days or a year. Even from today, by tomorrow, one little money go into it, right? The next question may be how much it will be, right? But yes, investments change value daily, right? Except for real estate, right? So it's just that some institutions will tell you how much it make for a month, for a year, while some just allow you to log in every day and you'll see a difference. So how long does it take to see some real good money? If I think that's what the question is, I'd say for investing long-term is 5 years, right?
Oh.
Sorry, I can't tell you something shorter than that, but long-term investments is 5 years and longer. Short-term is 30 days to 2 years. 2 years might seem long to you, but as you point, it's 2 years. Some persons will invest and by next month, their money double. And I've seen that 3, 4, 5 times over the last 2 years, but it's not always the case. And so I try not to bring up persons' expectations unrealistic. And then when after 1 month, I say, oh, it comes their own money, they don't get rich yet, right? Everything is just like investing in a company. It takes time to get it up and running. And sometimes most companies within the first 3 years, they fail. After 3 years, they really start making some real money. So patience is key. Should younger persons be aggressive? Generally, we recommend that when you're young, you can take more risk, because if you lose the money, worst case scenario, you still have energy in your body to work it back, right? Nobody goes in investment to lose the money, but that's just one of the reasons. When we reach 60 now, you can't gamble your money. Well, we don't encourage gambling, but you cannot put your money in any risk that you afford to lose. You cannot afford to lose your money at that time. So that's one of the reasons why we recommend young persons. They have more time to be patient with the money, make it grow while they're working all the money.
So Barita does stocks and bonds?
Well, yes, we are the oldest stockbroker in Jamaica. Regardless of which investment house you're aware of, Barita is the first company to actually allow persons to buy and sell ownership into stocks, right? So that's one of the advantages that we have. And also we have this relationship with the Jamaica Stock Exchange, which allows you to buy and sell stocks online. And that when you do it online, it really means that the fee to buy and sell stock is far less than if you were to walk into the place and sign a form to get somebody to buy the stock for you and sell it for you. Right.
So we need somebody to actually manage our stocks. Barita does those things for us, or we have to still be managing the stock ourselves once we actually buy these stocks?
So we do have a research team that studies the market in depth. That's their main mandate, and they will tell you which stocks to buy, recommend which stocks to buy.
Computer, man. It's a freeze.
Okay, some persons are not muted. And I'm unable to mute it. I'm not sure what's happening with the system at this time. Are you still able to hear us on this side?
I'm hearing you, but Mr. Bailey it seems as if he has dropped off. Oh, he's back.
Right, sorry about that. Breaking transmission. I have some unstable internet, but can you just repeat the last question for me? Oh, it was about how long it takes to make the money. That's the big question on everybody's mind. It's a matter of patience, and we will. We are the broker, stockbroker. So we're not the ones that sell you the stock. We're not the ones that buy the stock from you. You come to us, we're the middleman, and say, this is the company I want. I want Grace Kennedy. I want Wisinko. I want Separate. I want to buy JNB stock, and we will buy it for you. And then you will decide what profit you want. Because if it moves up 10% or 20%, you can call me, the advisor, and say, sell it for me. Or you can say, let us wait to see it go up 50%. So that is in terms of managing. We will make recommendations, but the ultimate responsibility will be for you. We have other investments that we will manage for you, but in the interest of time, I want us to have the one-on-one conversation regarding those investments. What we call unit trust or managed funds. These are available both in Jamaican dollar and US dollar, and typically you can start with $200 US or more, or 10,000 Jamaican or more, right? So there are options.
So, Mr. Bailey, somebody asked earlier, how is it that somebody from outside the country can actually invest in Barita?
Yes, well, once we send them the forms and they have it witnessed by a notary public in the country that they're at, then once we receive those original documents, everything else can be done by email or by telephone. Yeah. Oh! It's a small world, right? You know, so we try to make it very convenient for them. So I would email them the form, they print it, sign it, and get a JPR notary public to witness, and they mail it back to me. And within a week, they would have an account, have online access, and they'll be able to transfer money electronically to Barita and to and fro.
Okay, so persons who are online, please to go ahead and to complete the form that was the link that was dropped in the chat. Mr. Bailey, can you drop the link again for us one more time?
Okay. Just before I go, let me drop this link.
So somebody's saying that they're scared to invest with what is happening now. So what can give us the assurance that Barita is, on top of things?
Well, that's we're a publicly listed company. If we notice what happened to the other company the other day, they are not a publicly listed company. They don't have shares listed. Some companies, like how you can go and buy NCB stock or Grace stock or Alaska stock, that institution, which I will not mention, their stock wasn't being sold. So they were a privately held company. And so their obligations are less stringent than a company that is a public company, because as a public company, we have to do our financial statements and release them to the public in a timely manner. So we are subject to stronger regulations.
Okay.
But above it, I should use this opportunity to highlight that Barita, among the 10 up to 20 different financial institutions, Barita has the highest capital adequacy ratio, which means that money in reserve to withstand financial shock. So Team Nico, I want you to build financial resilience so that if another wave of COVID comes and so you have enough money, we have actually prepared ourselves for that. And compared to all the other financial institutions, we are at the top.
Okay. All right.
And in terms of protecting our clients' money as well, we ensure that any transaction that's being done, no one advisor can say, a client asked me to do this. It has to go through two persons, at least two persons on the front line. And so we have double authentication to verify. So as much as you might be comfortable talking to one advisor, you can't just have me as your advisor to transfer money back to your bank. Somebody else, the company has to call and verify the authenticity of your request.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything you want to leave with us? I know you have a little emergency and you have to run. And I really want to thank you for actually staying with us in spite of the emergency. But any little thing you want to just share with us just before you go? I don't see any more questions in the chat. Donna, could you just mute, please? I'm unable to actually mute you at this time. I'm not sure what is happening.
Well, what I will do, I'll just say quickly that we need to get ourselves organized. In summarizing, spend less than we earn, save a portion of the money that we have, avoid debt, be a diligent worker where we work, be financially faithful to God, and remember that this world is not our real home. So whatever we have as our assets or management of it will show where our ultimate priorities lie. So in all that we do, we must remember that who's the provider and ultimate one that will help us to live well, because you can have money, but you don't have wealth.
Awesome. And you just spoke about one investment that a lot of times we don't even think about investing into God. You understand that is something that we don't. I didn't hear you.
Another time I want to talk to us on the divine wealth plan. All right, okay. Another.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you very much again, Mr. Bailey. And yes, I really want to thank you for staying with us. If there are any more questions, remember Mr. Bailey, he left his a link in the chat and also his number. I'm unable to scroll up. Oh, thank you very much. 876-517-2752. So you can actually reach out to him for any other questions. As he said earlier, they can give other financial advice. So it's a.bailey@barita.com. Thank you again, Mr. Bailey.
You're welcome and good night. Thank you.
Sharing. Sorry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time that everybody has put in joining, and I'm looking forward to that further conversation, right? Because you guys making money from investment does not take away from me making money. So my thing is to really share, and by sharing, I actually retain the skill of investing.
I see a comment. Connie, she said that she's not ready yet. She appreciates everything, but she's not ready yet. No problem. As I said to you, call Mr. Bailey. Yes, he's on WhatsApp. So you can call him or text him, and for more information about investing, and he will actually help you to make up your mind on whatever package you want. Investing is not a short-term thing, it's a long-term thing, but there are other advice that you might want to hear. Go ahead and call Mr. Bailey. All right, so that's basically it for tonight, guys. We spoke about investment and how to become resilient, how to build resilience with Barita investments. So I know we've heard about Barita a long time. Some of us here all the time hearing about Barita, but now you have a contact where you can reach out to Mr. Bailey and he will provide you with more information. All right, I thank you very much for joining. We're cutting it a little short tonight, but as I said earlier, Mr. Bailey have an emergency and he has to run, but I'm glad that we got the information tonight. Anybody want to drop anything in the chat that you learned tonight, you're taking away from tonight, apart from Connie that says she's not sure yet if she want to invest? But I see a few persons say that they will contact Mr. Bailey in the week coming. Awesome. Even if it's just for information, go right ahead. So thank you again for joining tonight. Go ahead, Connie.
Nick is actually Connie.
Oh, sorry, Connie.
Yes, your classmate.
Thanks for joining.
Yes, man. It was well needed information, but with our economy is going these last days, I'm definitely not sure which institution I'd like to go to yet. Though I would like Mr. Bailey to give me some more tangible things, in order to push me to that side, but I guess because of time, he's not able to go in depth as he would like, you know, but him definitely spark an interest on my part, because when you look on the kids and, you know, you look at emergencies and things that are happening that, you know, we really don't see our plan for, but they happen, and we have to deal with them, and that really jerk our little savings. And, you know, it touched on the point that savings is just for a 2 or 3 months, you know, period. You know, and just like he highlighted the fact of you should have your 3 months of your payment, your earnings, so you don't get for your pay or monthly. You know, you should put 3 of that aside, which we know in our world that is not. Oh boy, if I use the right word. It's really rough.
It's
rough.
rough.
It's tight. You know, you'd have to have like a great grandmother, a great grandfather, or a father or a mother who has already wealth, and you're already going out there to work, and they're taking those cushions for you. You know, so you can save up your first couple of paycheck, probably a year or so paycheck. You know, and then as a child they can determine to do what they want with that. But I would like to hear some more from Mr. Bailey still. You know, so you should have him on the program again. See if him can bring me over to the side of investment. I think I haven't tried that.
I will invite him again, definitely. As I said, just before he came on, he had a family emergency, but he still came on and shared with us. And I'm grateful for that. But I'll invite him again to share.
Thanks for the invite.
No problem. All right, somebody's saying I'm always interested in stocks and bonds, but need to be more educated. No problem. As I said to you, that is Miss Williams. I'm unable to go up.
It's your GC. It's your guidance counselor.
Oh, all right. No problem. So I'm going to send the contact information for Mr. Bailey as well in a WhatsApp, and you can just go ahead and reach out to him. Some DNA said, I found that it is good to just start, and then you will be surprised when you see the growth. Maybe DNA have actually started some stock. You want to share anything with us? How was it? How is it going? I'm not sure who is DNA. All right. Oh, okay, the person said it is steady but good. Awesome. All right, so I think with that, DNA saying that you can go ahead and just start something. I mean, maybe we don't have to start very big. We can start small, you understand, and then watch it grow. All right, awesome. Anyone else here want to share anything before we leave? I mean, he touched a point about money management, especially if you have kids, do a plan for them. Awesome. So just as Kane said earlier, DNA is saying the same thing. Once you have kids, you need to sort out something, especially for the kids. Thank you very much. So it is important for us to manage our money. And he pointed out earlier that when we go to the store and it don't bother going like we're nice, we can ask for a little discount. And a lot of us sometimes we don't really ask for the discount. And we just say, all right, anything them say, we just go buy for that. We just
not me. I always ask. I always try and say, you don't accept this card. Or my Magna, I said, do you take Magna card? Yep. You have to ask.
It's true. It's so surprising some of the time when you ask for the discount. How far the thing come down, you wonder, so why they sell for so much money in the first place? Can they really give me such a big discount? So it is good. When he said to ask for discount, guys, ask for discount. Get a discount. If they can't give the discount, fine. He also made mention of the fact that we need to shop around. So when you're going to get something, you can shop around. You don't just go to one place and that is it. And I mean, some of the men online would say, Lord Jesus, I like walk with my wife, I like walk with my girlfriend. When we go market at the same thing, she'll walk up and down and ask for the price. And then end up back at the first person that buy the stuff. You understand? But shop around. Ask persons, you know, how much is it here? And then shop around. Track your spending. Because some of the times, and these are things that he mentioned earlier, track your spending. some of the time you'll find that if you track your spending, you can actually, you will see that you're spending the money, maybe you're spending too much money there, so you can cut down here, so, and stuff like that. So track your spending, every little dollar, track it, and then you'll be able to make certain decisions. Anybody here has ever tracked your spending and realized that you're spending too much money somewhere and you cut it and you realize that you're actually holding up more money in your pocket? Anybody?
Yeah, man. For example, sometimes when the salesperson come to work with items and you're well wanting about to say, all right, I'll pass this month's end because you know you want to put the money, you want to put that money into another place. So sometimes discipline, you have to be disciplined to track your savings, and also I try to do a bit of investment. It just make it be salary deduction. So when it come out, you know, it don't come in your hand. If you get it in your hand and say, boy, I'm going to put it down, that's a dead stock. So if you're going start, even $100 start, and just let it take out, let it be done through salary deduction. Because when you get it in your hand to do it, it's the hardest thing to do. So a part of saving, and it takes discipline. Takes a lot of discipline.
Yes, that's true. Awesome. Thanks for that. He made mention also of different bank accounts. And I mean, some of us who might have only one bank account, and we send all of the money to that one bank account. So it is important, if you can, have different accounts where the money goes, you know, for different reasons. So like for me, you know, I have a different account for this and a different account for that. So you know, definitely. And for some accounts, guys, you don't need to take any card for some accounts where you have. If you're going to use it as emergency money, in a make no sense with taking a card for it and everything. You understand?
That's
Go ahead.
true. That is true.
Go ahead.
I do that too. Money for work, traveling, kind of I live away. So I have to budget for traveling and toll. So I make sure I take that out and send it to another account and leave that card at home. I don't walk up and down with that card.
Yes. And a lot of us get in trouble because a lot of persons, you see, some of us can window shop and do it very nice and do it, and it's not a problem. But for some persons, once they window shop, they start spending. So we have to be careful of those things. All right. There's a Olivia, there's a question.
Hi, good night, Nicola.
Hi, go ahead.
I'm just able to join on. I really don't have no questions right now, so I don't know what's happening. So I'm just here to hear what else is being said. The last part, really. My bad.
Okay, no problem. I will send you the recording, Olivia. You can go ahead and actually watch it, and the information that you get from it, you can, and I'll send you the contact for the person from Barita so you can reach out to him as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, great.
All right.
All right, proceed.
Go ahead. All right, so as I said, we're wrapping it all up. And just before we go, anybody you just want to share in the chat any financial tip, anything that you tried and it worked for you when it come onto your finances, you can drop it in the chat. You can raise your hand, you can say it, because we're going to just bring everything to a close tonight. Can I tell you that when I started my Barita account, I mean, the day I started working, I had a very good boss that opened. Once we start working, he ensured that we open an account, and we opened the account with Barita, and that is where my savings went. And can I tell you, I forgot that I even had a Barita account. The money was just going there. And then eventually when I was going to buy my car, I could actually get the money from there to do a down payment, or it was not the down payment. What you call it when you, that the money that you have to pay them to put on the car. So I could actually get the money from them to actually offset the cost of the car. So at times, once you start working, it is important, start saving. All right, let me see. Somebody saying that they're afraid of cash plus. But as he was saying before, that we need to be careful of the organization or the institutions that we actually try saving with, and we need to ensure that they are registered. So maybe we have to do our own research as well. Start an investment plan as soon as you start working, no matter how small. Awesome. Thank you for that, Ms. Smith. Anybody else? We're closing tonight and we're going to just bring the evening to a close at this time. That's actually great advice. I agree, Olivia. And once you have a child, you can just start an investment for them. All right, so that's basically it for tonight. I want to thank you again for joining. We do this every fourth Thursday of the month, every fourth Thursday afternoon. It's Transformation Thursdays with Coach Cola. So I'll see you next month, fourth Thursday for Transformation Thursday, same time, 7:30. As I said to you, I try my best to close at 8:15, 7 o'clock, sorry, to 8:15. So you can go ahead and go do some other thing that you will want to do. All right, Kane, are you still online?
Still here.
All right, so Kane is my friend from high school, long time friend. I'm going to ask, Kane, can you pray us out tonight as we bring this evening to a close?
Certainly. Divine Father and our God, we come before your presence once more because we know that anything concerning you has to be successful. And you don't just want us to save now or to invest now, but you want us to do the eternal, everlasting investment. And as Nicola opens up this platform to reach people from day to day, from all stages, all walks of life, whatever their background is, I pray that you, Father, will intervene, because you said that the fool and his money will part. So we should make sure that we're good stewards over all that you have given us, all the assets that we would have had, even our family. Pray that we'll give them back to you. Bless this platform as it grew to inculcate youth and adults, just in general. Pray that your spirit will be upon us. And thanks for the little knowledge that we peeped into tonight so that we can change our trajectory financially in a big way is my prayers for Christ's sake. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Kane. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've come to the end of our session tonight. I do hope that you will enjoy the rest of your evening. All right. God bless you guys and see you next month.
All right. You too.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, Latoya.
Good night, Nicola.
Good night. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Same to you.
Good night, Sister Nikki.
Good night. That is Sister Dorothy. Good night, Sister Dorothy.